What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Dealing with life and death. You know, two of the hardest things we have to deal with in life that we all face no matter where we at is life and death. And there's a lot of things we seem to overlook or not understand or procrastinate against or dodge, but life, when you're born, is inevitable that you're gonna die. But the thing is, are you living? And are you able to cope with the people who die around you to keep living? So let's get into this real quick. Um, One of the things just about life in general is we're gonna all have challenges. You know, I don't care what race you are, what gender you are, with what financial background you come from, what what country or continent you're on, you're gonna face challenges, whether you live in a positive life or a negative life. There's a certain yin and yang balance to this life, anyways. Well, some people who just, good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people. But neither are not faced with challenges of whatever decisions they make, whether it's positive or negative. That's just how life works. And sometimes we got to take into consideration that we're not too good for life's challenges. As a matter of fact, the challenges either make you or they break you. And it's up to you to choose how you're going to deal with the challenges and how you're going to either improve or self-destruct from those challenges. So you got to make a choice. Like, are you going to use your experiences as motivation to keep going and to be an inspiration to somebody else who's living? Because sometimes you go through a challenge, not necessarily for you, but for people that are watching you, to understand that they can get through it if it happened to them. Sometimes you wind up getting challenged in life to be an example to other people that you can make it irregardless or regardless, whatever, of your circumstances. My old football coach used to tell me, there are two type of people in the world: the type of people who make it because of, and the type of people who make it in spite of. You know, and along that thing of dealing with life, you gotta take into consideration that though life is short, but it's the longest thing we've got in this form. Um, you get everything you want out of life, but you won't get it at the same time. So just because you don't have the things you want now doesn't mean you won't have that moment in life. You know, sometimes we downplay our lives in the chase of a moment, not understanding that one day we're gonna have that moment. Just be patient and keep on living. It's gonna come. Some of those moments are exhilarating, some of those moments are terrible, some of those moments are bittersweet. But you're gonna get everything out of life. Is just not on a lot of times, just not on your time schedule. You know. So how do you deal with it? You enjoy the journey and the process. A rainy day still helps the grass grow and the plants grow. You know, a sunny day makes you, you know, how can I say this? A hot sunny day can make you appreciate a cool fall or a cold winter, just like a cold winter can make you appreciate a hot sunny day. You know, you have to be able to roll with the punches and experience all of life's punches. You know, get up. Nothing should make you quit. I mean, you're gonna die anyway, so what the fuck are you quitting for? Why quit? And inspire yourself. That's a way to deal with life. To learn how to, because nobody knows you better than you. Learn how to re-inspire yourself. And when you're able to do that in mastery of self, you're able to master your interaction with life itself. Same thing with death. Like death is the loss of something, right? And a lot of times, some people can't cope with death because some of the people you lose are pivotal to your existence. They are irreplaceable. The damage sometimes for some people is irreversible. The depression, the sadness, the lack of will to live. You know, sometimes when um, couples have been together for years and years and years, if one dies, the other one just goes with them because they're so intertwined that there is no life without the other one. Some of us have family members who passed on that not a day goes by that you don't think about them. Same thing with friends. There's some people who are not living that you could wish could see you now. You know what I mean? I'm getting kind of sentimental about this shit. But it's real because for some of you non-religious people, it's like it's over. But some of you religious people, spiritual people, I would say, you know that it's not over, but the connection isn't tangible on a daily basis anymore. I mean, so how do you deal with it? You come to understanding that death is inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to die too. I'm going to die, at least in this form. Energy is never dies. It's just transformed. You know what I mean? If you think about the theories of physics, and that's very true with everything around us, because look at the seasons of life. Plants die and reborn, and electricity is used, and then it's transmitted, and to these devices, and then it's not over, because the energy is put out back into the world, and it's constantly regenerating and and resurrecting itself. That's part of the idea of resurrection, part of the people having children, and the children kind of look the same over time, over years, and you're like, damn, your family tree and stuff. You look just like your daddy, you look just like your mama, that type of thing. That's the same thing with the soul, but the issue is, how do you deal with it? Well, sometimes people's passing away helps you to connect or reconnect with the other people who need to be there in that phase of your life. You know, so sometimes death brings life, and with that life, that death inspires you to relive. Reinvigorate your will to live, because the same way the people that you might miss make you feel, their death passes on a torch to you to make somebody else feel that way. So it becomes your responsibility to be pivotal in someone else's life. And that's the way to cope with death, because if you have a family member or friend who you might owe a lot to that are no longer here, and they inspired you, and they poured into you, and they mentored you, and they loved you, and they accepted you, then in some ways they planted the seed for you to be that for someone else, you know. So in my opinion, that's how you deal with death. You become death and life. You will your life to be the life that you want it to be, and you become the best things out of life from the people who are no longer here as a tribute to them. So that's how I would say that's how you deal with life and death. Peace.